told you that waking up at 3 a.m. could rewire your entire brain chemistry in just 21 days. Not because of some mystical witching hour nonsense, not because of ancient spiritual traditions, but because of a neurological loophole that exists in every single human brain. And most people will die without ever knowing it exists. In the next hour, I'm going to show you exactly what happens inside your skull between 3 and 5 a.m., why Silicon Valley executives are setting alarms, and why neuroscientists are calling this window the brain's factory reset button. By the end of this video, you'll understand something that took me 3 years of research to piece together, something that changed how I think about consciousness itself. But first, let me tell you about a sleep lab in Munich, where researchers accidentally discovered this phenomenon while studying something completely different. They were trying to understand why certain monks could meditate for 18 hours straight without mental fatigue. The monks weren't doing anything special during the day, but their sleep patterns completely abnormal. Every single one of them naturally woke up between 3 and 4 a.m., not because of discipline. Their bodies just did it automatically. When researchers scanned their brains during this window, they found something impossible. The monks' brains were producing theta waves, the same brainwave state you only see in deep REM sleep while they were fully conscious, walking around, completely awake. It was like they'd hacked into a level of consciousness that shouldn't exist. And here's the kicker. When the researchers tried to replicate this with normal people by having them wake up at 3 a.m. for just 2 weeks, the same thing started happening. Their brains began producing theta waves while awake. They'd stumbled onto something massive. So let's talk about what's really happening in your brain at 3 a.m. and why this might be the most important hour of your entire day. Here's what nobody tells you about sleep. Your brain doesn't just turn off at night. It runs a complex maintenance protocol that happens in very specific stages at very specific times. And between 3 and 5 a.m., something unique happens that doesn't occur at any other point in your sleep cycle. Your brain enters what's called the REM rebound phase. This is when your body is flooded with the highest concentration of certain neurochemicals it will produce all night. We're talking about acetylcholine, which controls memory formation. Your pineal gland naturally produces DMT during this window. Not enough to make you trip, but enough to put your brain in a state that researchers are calling neuroplastic priming. In plain English, your brain becomes rewirable. The neural pathways that normally feel set in stone. Your habits, your emotional reactions, your thought patterns, they become temporarily flexible, malleable. It's like your brain turns into wet clay for a few hours. But here's the problem. You're asleep during this window, which means this entire process happens unconsciously. Your brain does its routine maintenance, processes emotions, consolidates memories, and then you wake up at 7 a.m. and go right back to the same mental patterns you've had your entire life. The 3 a.m. method is about intercepting that process. When you wake up during the REM rebound phase and stay conscious through it, something neurologically remarkable happens. You get access to your subconscious programming while you're awake enough to change it. Think about that. All day long, you're trying to change habits, overcome anxiety, rewire negative thought patterns. And it's hard because your conscious mind is fighting against deeply embedded neural pathways. But at 3 a.m., those pathways are already loosened, already primed for change. It's like trying to redirect a river. During the day, the water is rushing and the banks are solid. But at 3 a.m., the river slows down and the banks turn to mud. You can actually reshape the landscape. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds insane. Why would I deliberately interrupt my sleep? Isn't that terrible for me? And yes, if you do this wrong, it absolutely is terrible for you. Sleep deprivation is one of the worst things you can do to your brain. It increases inflammation, destroys cognitive function, accelerates aging. But here's what the research shows. Strategic wake periods during specific sleep phases can actually enhance sleep quality and cognitive performance. A study from UC Berkeley found that brief awakenings during late-night REM sleep, when paired with specific mental practices, led to 34% improvement in creative problem solving. Measurable increases in gray matter density in the hippocampus. Significant reductions in anxiety and rumination patterns. The key word is strategic. You're not losing sleep, you're restructuring it. Most people sleep in one continuous 8-hour block because that's what society tells them to do. But historically, humans didn't sleep this way. Before the Industrial Revolution, segmented sleep was the norm. People would sleep for 3 to 4 hours, wake up for 1 to 2 hours in the middle of the night, and then sleep again until morning. They called this middle period the watching hour. And during this time, people would pray, meditate, have deep conversations, or simply lie in quiet contemplation. Then electric lighting came along, and we decided we needed to maximize productivity by sleeping in one continuous block. We optimized for factory work schedules, not for brain health. And now we're seeing the consequences. Anxiety disorders are at an all-time high. Depression affects over 300 million people globally. Cognitive decline is accelerating in younger and younger populations. Meanwhile, your brain has this built-in reset mechanism that you're sleeping right through. Here's another problem. Your subconscious mind is running your life. Neuroscientists estimate that 95% of your daily decisions are made unconsciously. Your reactions, your habits, your emotional responses, they're all running on autopilot. You didn't consciously decide to feel anxious when you check your email. You didn't choose to procrastinate on important tasks. You didn't intentionally develop that negative inner voice. These patterns were programmed into your subconscious through repetition, trauma, conditioning, and during your normal waking hours, you have almost no access to them. It's like having a computer with a virus, but you can only interact with it through the regular user interface. You can see the symptoms, the crashes, the slowdowns, the errors, but you can't get into the code to fix it. The 3 a.m. window is when you get root access. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical controlling part of your brain, is still drowsy. It hasn't fully booted up yet.
Let's get scientific for a moment, because understanding what's actually happening in your brain will make this entire method make sense. Your sleep cycle isn't random. It follows a very precise pattern that repeats every 90 minutes throughout the night. Stage 1, light sleep. Transition phase. Lasts about 5 to 10 minutes. Stage 2, deeper sleep. Your heart rate slows, body temperature drops. This is where most people spend the majority of their sleep time. Stage 3, deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep. This is when your body does physical repair. Growth hormone gets released. Your immune system strengthens. Stage 4, REM sleep, rapid eye movement. This is where dreams happen. Most people think REM is just dream time, but so much more than that. During REM sleep, your brain is more active than when you're awake. Your prefrontal cortex goes quiet. This is why dreams don't follow logical rules. But your visual cortex, your emotional centers, your memory consolidation systems, they're firing at maximum capacity. Your brain is essentially running simulations, processing experiences, integrating new information with existing memories. And here's the crucial part. As the night progresses, your REM periods get longer. Your first REM cycle might last 10 minutes, but by the early morning hours, between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., your REM periods can last 30 to 60 minutes. This is why you often wake up from a vivid dream in the morning. You're naturally coming out of an extended REM period. Now here's where it gets interesting. During these late-night REM periods, your brain chemistry shifts dramatically. Acetylcholine levels surge. This neurotransmitter is responsible for encoding memories and making new neural connections. When acetylcholine is high, your brain is in a state of heightened plasticity. Cortisol also starts rising around 3 a.m. Not stress cortisol. This is your brain's natural awakening hormone. It's preparing you for morning. Your brain is adaptive. When you give a consistent pattern, it adjusts. But, and this is critical, you have to do it daily. Waking up at random times, using jarring alarms, exposing yourself to bright lights, engaging in stressful activities that will destroy your sleep quality. The 3 a.m. method has very specific protocols to prevent this, which brings us to the actual technique. All right, let's get into the practical method. Exactly how to do this, step by step. Phase 1, preparation before bed. First, you need to set your intention. Your brain responds to clear instructions. Before you go to sleep, you're going to tell your subconscious mind exactly what you want it to do. Sit on the edge of your bed. Take 3 deep breaths. Then say this, either out loud or in your mind. Tonight, I will wake naturally around 3 a.m. When I wake, I will remain calm and centered. I will use this time to access my deeper consciousness. I will return to sleep easily when I'm ready. This isn't affirmation nonsense. This is priming your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information based on what you've told it is important. When you set this intention, your brain will naturally start waking you during the appropriate sleep window. Next, optimize your sleep environment. Your room should be completely dark. Any light pollution will suppress melatonin and make the transition in and out of sleep more jarring. Temperatures should be cool, around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. Cold rooms promote deeper sleep cycles. And here's a key detail. Place a dim red light within reach of your bed. Red light doesn't suppress melatonin the way blue or white light does. When you wake at 3 a.m., you'll use this to see without shocking your system awake. You can get a simple red LED book light for like $10. This is essential. Finally, no screens for at least 1 hour before bed. No caffeine after 2 p.m. No heavy meals within 3 hours of sleep. You want to go into the night with your brain chemistry as clean as possible. Phase 2. The first sleep, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Go to bed around 10 p.m. This gives you approximately 5 hours before your wake window. In those 5 hours, your brain will complete about 3 to 4 full sleep cycles. You'll get your deep sleep, your physical restoration, your memory consolidation. By the time 3 a.m. rolls around, you've already gotten the most restorative sleep of the night. You'll likely wake up naturally somewhere between 2:30 and 3:30 a.m. Your bladder might signal you. You might just suddenly be awake. Don't fight it. This is exactly what's supposed to happen. Phase 3, the wake period, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. This is where the magic happens. When you wake, do not check your phone, turn on bright lights, start thinking about tasks or problems. Get anxious about being awake.